So you walk up the military track, which is on access land, and there's a little gate at the bottom that you come through, not the main gate that's actually chained up. And the most remarkable thing meets your eye when you get to the top, and it's this wall, which of course is the bullet catcher. Totally incongruous object to find on Dartmoor, and yet an interesting and unusual one, and we'll go up and have a look. So you can see the range firing point, or at least one of them, from behind me, but it's all become rather overgrown, and it's very, very difficult to see where the bullets would have actually gone across the land. But later on we'll be able to see the actual butt where the bullets were captured, and that's a bit clearer. So in the distance you can see where the bullets were captured after they'd passed through the targets and the target frames. Stefan the dog walking up on the top there. A place to visit because it gives you an absolutely spectacular view of Dartmoor looking off the top, but you certainly wouldn't want to fall off it, it's a long way down. So here we are at the target frames in various states of disrepair. These would have held very large paper targets, which would have been lifted up by hand, so there's an area behind which you can sort of hide behind, and you can count the number of frames, which gives you an idea of how many lanes the range would have. So this was quite a wide range. The targets used to fill up with holes, and they'd paste over little bits of paper to actually repair the targets, so you could keep shooting at them again. And then of course in front of me at the moment is the sand bank, which would have caught the bullets that went through. So behind me you can see the corner of the wall that holds the sand and gravel that would have caught the bullets. From time to time this had to be dug out because it would fill with lead, and sort of environmentally they'd have to clear it out and put new sand and gravel in. I've got memories of running these ranges because I had a ticket to run them, and my memory certainly is that they were always cold, windswept. Up on the top of the hills, Yoxter I have in mind particularly, and it wasn't a particularly pleasant experience, but also a very nervous one because you absolutely had to get it right. No one was obviously allowed to wander around or poke their head up from the target frames, etc., until firing had finished, and there was a range of flags you'd hoist to give the information from the firing line up to the butts where we are now. So here you can see one of the target frames and the sort of pulley wheels that would have allowed you to lift the paper target on a metal frame up, and you'll notice it's marked number 1, which is on our right at the moment, but of course when you're firing from the firing point that would have been on your left, so it would have numbered as you might expect from the left, number 1, then number 2, then number 3, etc. So you could be pretty certain which target frame was which, and of course when shooting you had to be sure which was yours, otherwise you'd end up putting a hole in someone else's. So Rippon Tor rifle range, most unusual object on Dartmoor. It really surprises you when you're walking and you suddenly come across this huge wall of the back of the bullet catcher on the butts of the firing range. I think the jury's out on whether this sort of thing should remain on Dartmoor or whether it should be removed. I rather like it, even though it's sort of not in keeping at all. But it is part of the history of what happened here, and if nothing else, it's a nice little walk. And if you climb to the top of the catcher, you get absolutely spectacular views of the moor.